We are in a new venue, Aldridge House. I'm joined by Eveline Lubbers of the Undercover Research Group. We have been listening to the beginning of the evidence of Paul Gravett. It's the second day of evidence. Previously, he gave evidence back at the end of November where he was asked about Bob Lambert. This questioning relates to other things he was involved with, mostly relating to HM1, whereas there's other bits and pieces as well. We've heard about his involvement in Boots, London Boots Action Group. There's a few things which really stuck out to me, not you, but there were some reports from the live animal export where the report claimed that animal rights activists threw eggs at the lorries of the live expert. But, you know, the idea that animal rights activists would throw eggs at lorries transporting animals to their death is fucking bollocks. There is no way in the creation of fucking cats that animal rights activists were hurling eggs at animals that were on their way to death. It's a fucking ridiculous report. Yeah. Paul Gravett didn't pick up on it because it was quite a long report and there was a lot of other things in it related to him, which he was answering. But I mean, this once again shows what a work of fiction these reports are. It's just laughable. I mean, I really question whether the undercover officer was actually there or not, because to make up such a ridiculous lie is just bullshit. What do you make anyway of it?
Well, we've just been led through a long list of reports of really small and innocent meetings where people would plan handing out leaflets in front of food stores, do pickets, and really nothing that would involve any public order disruption or violence. And it kind of shows you that, they were just in there to see, they would justify it with, you never know whether someone's going to be more radical. But already one morning, I feel like I've been here for weeks ago. It's like going through these reports that say either nothing or ridiculous stuff like you just explained. And it's like, the only point that's being made basically is why were these groups fighting? Why? Apart from the fact that they are they were and now are on the right side of history, animal rights and stuff like climate change, and now everybody knows that there is an issue there, and it's more like you wonder. It's so much. It's so innocent, and there's nothing happening there. And then either the Spycops, Rainer in this case, is just sitting through all of these. It's quite boring meetings, writing them up. Like for what and for whom and for that's the only point this day is making, is that they were there it's nonsense that these groups were spied on, and it's nonsense that all this money was spent on it. And
I'm always really wary of the financial kind of justification thing, that it somehow was a waste of money. I mean, the state wastes money on all sorts of things. True. One of the things that really stuck out for me, as well as the live animal export stuff, was about the Boots AGMs. London Boots Action Group attempted to disrupt the Boots AGM in 1991. There was only one person thrown out. It was quite limited. Not many people had shares. In 92, they very successfully disrupted the event. It was in all the main papers the next day. There are no reports of it whatsoever. We saw lots of reports from 91, we saw lots of reports from 93. The one year when it was genuinely disrupted, when somebody bought 50 shares, distributed them out through lots of different activists. There was a lot of heckling. There was also a lot of complaints about the board by ordinary shareholders, as in not animal rights activists, who were very upset about the board giving themselves large pay rises, but also about how one of the drugs that the Boots had introduced to the market had resulted in people dying, which obviously had an effect on the share price, which I'm sure is what the shareholders were mostly annoyed about. Everybody was thrown out, security were called, it was a big event, there was a lot of happenings, no mention of any reports. Gravett is sure that HM1, coming in Matt Rainer, and Andy Coles was present. It would have been insane if they hadn't been, but there's no reports about it. I mean, partially.
They must have got lost. But why?
But why?
Yes,
This is the
why?
point. This is the point.
Yeah.
Whenever we have we had a situation before when there's a lot going on and there's no report about it. We saw it about Southall. We saw it about lots of demonstrations when Blair Peach died. You know, we've seen plenty of times where something bad happens and all the reports disappear. We saw it for the whole 6-week period where Bob Lambert was planning and executing the bombing campaign against, the Century Device campaign.
Sprinklers.
Yeah.
Destroying
The campaign against Debenhams. I mean, all those disappeared. So why has this one disappeared? What else was going on? I think that was very telling. Any other bits stick out for you, really?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, well, the thing is that, maybe sort of looking forward to the next coming days.
Just other things that stuck out for me then from this morning so far. There was another section about a disagreement that had happened between Paul Gravett and two named people who had joined Islington Animal Rights, who apparently though previously had been ALF activists, were very critical of direct action. And a lot is made of this in the report. And this is something we see time and time again throughout the deployment of undercover officers, where if there's some sort of disagreement within the group, some sort of argument, a lot is made of it. Gravett is asked about this, and he was like, that's two people who came along, they didn't come to very many meetings, they didn't really get on with anybody, and they left again.
That's what happens.
That's what happens, right?
That's what happens all the time. It's open meetings, anyone can come there. If they have a different background and they don't get along with people there, what's the use of going there? And it's like, you always see this focus on disagreement, on sort of suggesting a reason that, they were critical of the ALF, of the Animal Liberation Front, and so that's why they didn't fit into Boots. So there's always this sort of focus on possible disagreement that may be or may not be of use further down the line, sort of to split an organisation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and this sort of tactic, it always seems to be there. It always seems to be there. The idea that we haven't heard anything from any of the undercover officers. They were told to report on this sort of thing or told to focus on that, but it's very clear that they were. We're probably going to go back in fairly soon. I'll do a longer report at lunchtime. Thanks for joining us.
It's pretty chilly in here. And something we don't
It's very posh. It's a quick. They always moan when I show other people, so I'll just try and not catch anybody else in the thing. But you can just see the size of the venue. It's a lot more salubrious than we were used to in the previous venue. Though I would say that the actual hearing room is probably. It's very big. It's very, very big. I can't take photos of that, but very, very big. Slightly different. All right. Thanks for joining. Oh, hang on.